Good afternoon, everyone. Today is our eighth meeting in English Prose subject. We will discuss about the rhetoric of text. Let's begin by discussing about the rhetoric of text and discourse. A distinction may be drawn between communication as discourse and as text. Discourse is linguistic communication seen as a transaction between speaker and hearer, as an interpersonal activity whose form is determined by its social purpose, while text is linguistic communication, or either spoken or written, seen simply as a message coded in its auditory or visual medium. Thus, in speech, a text or utterance is a linear pattern of sound waves. In writing, a text is a linear sequence of visible marks on paper. When read out, it becomes a linear pattern of sound waves. Therefore, there are two important points that we are discussing in the first section, which are discourse and text. You have to remember the definition of these two terms of the rhetoric of text. Okay. The second one, we will talk about the view of language. Okay. As you can see, there is a pattern, okay, from the discourse between the addresser and the addressee. Okay. If the communication is successful on an ideational plane, then the message on the right of the figure, as stored in the addresses model of reality, is more or less identical to that which appears on the left. However, there are additional standards of success which apply to the planes of discourse and text. It is the set of principles for achieving communicative ends at these levels that we refer to as the rhetoric of text and discourse. Rhetoric is used here in the traditional sense of the art or skill of effective communication. Okay. From the diagram or from the pattern, you can see the addresser produces the message, and then the message is encoded into text. Text afterward is decoded into message, and then it is finally received by the addressee. It is called as a discourse. So the technical term of this pattern is called as the view of language. Okay, please remind this about the view of language. Next. Okay. Okay, the next one we will discuss the linearity of text. Okay. Linearity is such an obvious characteristic of text that it is easy to overlook its important implication for language and for style. Since speech is acoustically ongoing, it is necessary for the hearer in decoding the stream of sound to segment it into units. Okay, that's the definition of linearity. Okay, a message. Okay, a message has to be broken down into parcels of information. Okay, and the key unit for this purpose in speech is the tone unit or unit of intonation. Okay, the other name of the tone unit is unit of intonation. Okay, and then tone units are subdivided into smaller units. In this case, there are rhythm units, syllables, and phonemes, and form part of larger, less clearly defined units which we may think of as the speech equivalent of paragraphs. So in this case, linearity entails segmentation, and segmentation involves a hierarchy of units. Hierarchization, in turn, means that certain parts of the text are perceived as more salient or highlighted than others. From the point of view of phonology, therefore, three important factors in the dynamic of text are sequence, segmentation, and salience. Okay, please keep in mind that from the point of view of phonology, okay, there are three important factors in the dynamics of text. Firstly, sequence. Secondly, segmentation. And thirdly, salient. The pieces of text which are separated by punctuation, for example, the pieces of language occurring between commas, may be called as graphic units. Okay, graphic units, okay, mean the pieces of text which are separated by punctuation. Maybe someday you are asked by your friend or the other lecturer, Prateni, what is mean by graphic unit? Graphic unit is the piece of text which is separated by punctuation. So you can answer the question correctly. And then the third one, okay, we will know deeper about the principle of focus. The principle that new information is reserved to the end of the tone unit will be called the principle of emphasis. Although emphasis belongs to phonology, it clearly has important implication in syntax, where the ordering of the elements of the message is largely determined. It can, for example, influence the choice between active and passive sentences, as the example given in 3a and 3b. Okay, please pay attention to the example given below. John wrote the whole book in 3a, while in 3b, the whole book was written by John. With emphasis, these two sentences will presuppose different contexts. For example, 3a would answer the question, what did John write? So the answer is, he wrote the whole book, or John wrote the whole book. Okay. While in 3b would answer the question, who wrote the book? Okay. Who wrote the book? The whole book was written by John, or it was written by John. Okay, by using the principle of emphasis in this case, we can make the presupposition with different contexts. For example, with different question to refer to the different answer. Okay, what did John write refer to the different answer from 3b. What did John write? John wrote the whole book. So in 3b, who wrote the book? The answer is the whole book was written by John. These two different patterns will refer to the presupposition of different context with the principle of emphasis. At the end, you will make the focus by using the different answers and the different questions. You have to be focused from the question to refer to the correct answer or the precise answer. Next. Okay. The fourth one, we will talk about what segmentation means. Okay, what does segmentation mean? A tone unit constitutes in speech a single chunk of information, and to a considerable extent, the speaker is free to segment his utterance into such chunks as he likes. But the choices he makes will also make a difference to the decoding of the message. Consider, for example, what happens when the following sentence is split respectively into 2 and 3 tone units. The acute accent indicates a rising tone. Okay. Segmentation is related with the tone, or in this case, a rising tone. From the example given in 4a and 4b, you can see the distinction between the tones happen in the segmentation. Okay, 4a. Next week, I'm starting a job in London. in 4A. While for B, next week, I'm starting a job. Okay, there is a space. Okay, there is what we call it as the full stop. Okay, before you speak about in London. Okay, next week I'm starting a job in London. Okay, so what happened in 4A and 4B? 4A presents two pieces of information. Something is happening next week in I, okay, or the first one, something is happening next week. And the second one, what is happening next week is that I am starting a job in London. That's in 4A, okay? There are something is happening next week, and what is happening next week is that I'm starting a job in London. While in 4B, on the other hand, presents 3, okay? 4A presents 2, while 4B presents 3, okay? 3, the segmentation. Okay, the first one is something is happening next week. The second one is what is happening next week is that I am starting a job. And the third one, the place where I am starting a job is London. Okay, the addition is the third one, is the place where I am starting a job is London. Okay. The tone or the segmentation produces what we call here as the segmentation. Okay. Okay. From the 4A and 4B, there is one difference or distinction from the third one, the place where I am starting a job in London, by using the segmentation. Okay. Sentence 4B would only be uttered by someone for whom getting a job was a piece of news in itself. For example, by someone who had been out of work. Okay. 4B indicates, okay, the piece of news, okay, produced by someone who had been out of work. Next, okay, the last one. Okay, in fifth one, we will discuss about the rhythm of prose. The rhythm of prose is an implicit unspoken intonation of which punctuation marks are written indicators in written prose. In a passage on the death of Paul Dombey quoted earlier, page 47 to 8, this may be part of the reason for the air of peaceful solemnity that Dickens managed to convey. Okay, I will read the passage for you as the example. His fancy had a strange tendency to wander to the river, which he knew was flowing through the great city. And now he thought how black it was, and how deep it would lie. Sorry, and how deep it would look, reflecting the host of stars, and more than all, how steadily it rolled away to meet the sea. Okay, that's the passage from the Paul Dombey quoted earlier. Okay, well, when the graphic units are set out like this, in the manner of poetry, we notice that they follow a pattern of decreasing length. Okay, decreasing length. The length is decreased, not increased, bringing the effect of an increase of tempo towards a climax. Okay, tempo is increased toward the climax. Okay, at the climax, the tempo must be increased until the last unit being longer. Okay, the last unit must be longer. Okay, relaxes the tension towards a dying form. Rhythm is more strictly applied, however, to the pattern formed by the sequence of stressed and unstressed syllables. Notice that rhythm in this metrical sense contributes to the effect of the sentence. The last two graphic units can be read as a rhyming couplet and more than all, how steadily, or it roll away to meet the sea. Okay, I think that's all for our discussion today. And now please do the exercise given in the fifth section. Okay. There are 8 questions that should be answered within, I think, 10 minutes is enough. Time is yours. For Pauzi, Eri, Thomas, and Nancy, after this meeting, I will send the link of the attendance list special for you. Thank you very much for joining our hybrid lecture today, because Rateni has been joining the lecture from the campus. Thank you very much, Rateni, for attending the class today. I really appreciate your attendance today. Okay. I hope next week you will be able to come to the campus again, so that the topic, the material will be understood easier than using the online lecture, because I know that you are not too professional in using the smartphone or the application attached in it. Okay, time is yours.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what can I do for you, Mr. Pauzi?
Please, you can send the material today to our WhatsApp group.
Okay, please Rateni, share the material to our group. Okay, please wait a moment, Mr. Pauzi.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. Okay, I will send it to our English class group. Okay. The material has been sent. Please check our group, Mr. Pauzi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Gininya jangan di.
Maaf Pak, untuk absensinya tetap mengikuti yang tulisan kelas reguler ya Pak, di linknya.
Absensinya nanti saya akan kirimkan ke kelas karyawan. Nanti kan saya cek yang mengecek di YouTube saya, ya. Nanti untuk hari ini nanti saya akan buatkan, sehabis ini nanti saya akan kirimkan ke Pauzi, Eri, Thomas, dan Nancy. Ya, linknya. Itu tadi Rateni salah kirim ya. Tolong Hapus Rateni ya. Sudah. Jadi yang hadir hari ini di kelas hanya Rateni, karena yang lain tidak hadir. Jadi nanti yang hadir di kelas karyawan akan saya cek lewat aplikasi atau Google ya. Nanti saya berikan absensinya, siapa yang sudah mengerjakan tugas juga. Ya. Kalau ini tidak selesai hari ini, saya akan jadikan tugas. Itu juga akan menjadi indikator untuk absensi. Ya. Oke, kita masih punya waktu 8 minutes. Oke, jangan khawatir ya, don't worry. The link of your attendance will be sent after this meeting. Oke, for Fauzi, Natalia, Thomas, and Nancy. Oke, for
Nanti
next
boleh
week.
Bapak kirimkan ke saya aja, nggak apa-apa Pak. Nanti saya kirim ke 3 orang yang lain.
Oke, siap Nancy. Terima kasih banyak ya atas bantuannya. Oke, thank you very much. Ya. Untuk yang lain nanti untuk kelas karyawan silakan dipelajari apa yang sudah saya sampaikan hari ini. Nanti kirim tugasnya via Eduvecta atau nanti kalau memang Eduvectanya ada problem, silakan kirim ke WA pribadi saya. Ya, dari 8 pertanyaan ini. Kita masih punya waktu 7 minutes, oke. Untuk nilai mungkin nanti silakan bisa dicek ya di Eduvecta. Nilai sudah saya masukkan semua ke data UTS. Silakan nanti. Hanya di bagian absensi itu masih ada problem karena Eduvecta datang belakangan. Jadi untuk proses absensi nanti akan saya buatkan recapnya menggunakan Google Form. Ya. Terus untuk rekan-rekan yang lain kelas karyawan, tolong nanti segera dikerjakan tugas ini. Saya tunggu selamatnya minggu depan. Bagi yang sudah mengerjakan, selain yang hadir hari ini, berarti saya anggap hadir mengerjakan. Untuk diinfo pula, kelas reguler, silakan mulai minggu depan, sesuai kesepakatan tadi, saya dengan Rateni, hadirnya jam 6 ya. Jam 6 ke kampus hari Senin untuk mata kuliah Inggris Prose. Oke, silakan dikerjakan dengan baik.
Can I have one question?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So sometimes I have free time for my job,
Okay.
and then I can join your offline class to the campus or something.
Okay.
I just take it only for offline.
Okay, Mr. Fauzi, if you want to come to the class to join our offline lecture, is it okay? Is it possible? While when you have no free time, you can join our online lecture via online. It is possible too. So these two methods are possible for you because you are in executive class. Okay. I will be pleased, okay, if you can come to the campus to see your campus, to feel the atmosphere of our campus. That's the point why I hope all of the students in English department, especially in 3rd semester, will be able to come to campus. Okay, you will see the situation, the ambience, okay, the atmosphere, the facility, and the most important thing that the location, okay, like Rateni hasn't announced the location of the campus yet. After she knew the location of our campus, she feels enjoy. Okay, she feels very enjoy. Okay, she wants to go to the campus, although she is alone here. Okay, that's my opinion. You can come when you have free time, whenever, according to the schedule given. Okay, according to the schedule given. Okay, not every day.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Sure.
Except Sunday. Okay, Mr. Fauzi, except Sunday. Don't come to the campus on Sunday.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you are welcome.
So this is a question is homework, right? Or now we must answer
Okay,
the question.
I think it must be your homework, okay? Because the time is nearly over. We still have 3 minutes remaining, okay? Deal?
Yes.
Do you agree? Do you agree our last slide will become your homework? What about Nancy? Do you agree, Nancy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that's all for today about our 8th meeting discussion. But before I end up our meeting, I'd like to give some summaries, okay? Some summary about our discussion. We have studied about discourse, about text, and about linearity, and so on. And I hope this, what we call it, study will be useful to deepen your understanding in English prose, okay? Especially when you read or when you want to practice the products of prose, okay, like poetry and etc. Okay, prose, poetry, drama, etc. Okay, I think that's all for today. Is there any question before I end up this meeting? Is it clear?
All clear,
Yes,
sir.
clear, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for joining.
And then when we all answer the question.
Okay, at least.
Sorry, sir. One question.
Okay, what's question?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, at least next week, the homework must be sent or submitted into our Google Classroom or my WhatsApp number. Thank you very much for today. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Thank you, sir.